Hi guys, I hope this is going to work out. It's kind of going to be a little bit like a slow speed build, because what happened was I was decorating the inside of this restaurant that I'm building for Vlad, and I did the audio at the time as I was building and sort of talked through what I was doing and when. But like the big brain that I am, well actually no, it's not my fault. There was something wrong with the audio on this video. It just didn't record the audio at all. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it decided to do that all of a sudden. I hadn't changed with any of the settings. I don't know what happened. It just broke itself. So here we go. I'm sort of replaying the footage and watching and commentating sort of as I watched the footage back. So I had these little spooky gravestones. I was going for kind of like a Tim Burton inspired build, that kind of like spooky, quirky, kind of cutesy kind of look. That's kind of what I want to go for. And I've got Cinderella on the lot there as well, because you can't change the light settings in build mode unless you have you have to have a sim on the lot and be in live mode to be able to change the light settings. So yeah, I've kind of made those gravestones out there quite sort of red and spooky. So there's Cinderella there, my guinea pig with her colander hat on. I think here I was talking about how I actually made a colander hat in work. Like I work in a kitchen at kind of a coffee shop bistro, so because I'm far too busy prattling around and don't spend enough time working. I made a colander hat like that with fairy lights on at Christmas and made everybody wear it. So yeah, that's the kind of work that I do in a restaurant, the kind of employee you need. So here I am. I'm just sort of showing that this is how you set the light settings. So I gave them kind of like spooky red glow, which I think works quite well against the snow. I'm going for kind of like a Victorian build here. I thought it was quite suitable for what's it called? Midnight Hollow. No, Midnight Hollow, Forgotten Hollow. Midnight Hollow's the Sims 3 world. And I was just sort of thinking here, where it looks like a Christmas card scene. It looks kind of really, really nice and sort of doesn't look as spooky in the snow and in the daylight. The lighting kind of makes it look almost picturesque, which is quite funny because I was going for that kind of spooky vampire look. You can see Vlad's house there in the background. That gothic style is what I was going for. And then here I was talking about how you can see the grotesques, those big statues outside his gates. And I was just saying that I studied only a little tiny bit of my course at uni. I studied Gothic architecture for like a sample, and Augustus Pugin, who built in that kind of style. So I know that gargoyles are only gargoyles if they spout water, like, you know, if they act like a drain pipe, and if they don't, if it's just a statue, it's a grotesque. So there you go. Education with Cinderella. So this is the kind of basement area, and I wanted it to kind of look a bit like a wine cellar. Now I don't complete the basement in this session, but I kind of get an idea of what I want to do, and I'm just placing those little teeny tiny saucer lights that we got in the update around, just so I can kind of see while I'm building, and yeah, just to kind of light it up better for you guys so you can view things. I always do that when I'm building, to kind of brighten up the inside, and then I go around and replace all the lights later with like a more suitable style. So here I'm just kind of like looking for a floor, and I get quite grumpy actually, because I like those two base game stone like styles, but you only get like one swatch for each of them, so I really wish that they came in more colour options, because I kind of like the floor that I've got there. I like that floor better, that kind of pinky coloured one, that one, but I don't like the pinky colour. I kind of want it to be more in that colour, so I end up going for that one in the end. And yeah, this is me sort of whinging about it. So yeah, I kind of want this kind of wine cellar look, but it is actually going to be an area that you can eat in eventually. So here I'm looking for the archway that there we go, that came with Silver Dorada. It's not it won't fit though, so I need to make the wall slightly higher. I'm moving quite quickly. I've got it on 150% speed, so it's slightly quicker, just to kind of like just so it wasn't too boring, and the video wasn't too long. So yeah, this is actually technically my first ever speed build. It's like a bit of a slow speed build, but there we go, still learning, still figuring out new things. I'm just trying kind of different walls here. I think I'll just stick with the stone in the end, with the brick, sorry. Yeah, but just trying out a few different ones. Yeah, I think I go back to the brick because I want it to look like a Victorian cellar, you know. I want it to still fit in. But I do really like that big archway. And then I decide that, you know, if lads are going to be taking someone on a date here, if the date goes well, you know, they're going to kind of need to have a woohoo spot. So in a minute, I do actually put a coffin in that little side room. Here I'm just working out what colour I want for these stairs. But I like that it's so easy to replace the stairs. Like, you don't have to, you know, re-angle them and jiggle them about again. You can just literally like override with the stair style that you want. So that's really good. So here we go. I'm going to search for the coffin. I'm sorry about my squeaky chair as well, if you can hear my squeaky chair. So I go for, I was considering that kind of fancy one, but then I go for this one because I think it looks almost like it could be a crate of wine, right? You know, it could be like wine from the foothills of Transylvania. Say someone's ordered this case of wine, but actually it's not wine at all, it's Dracula. But I kind of like that kind of wooden, quite rustic look. I'm really glad that they gave us a variety of coffins actually, because we didn't have a coffin like that in The Sims 3 when we got Supernatural. Was it Supernatural or what's the other one called? Was it Late Night? I can't even remember anymore. God, terrible simmer. Whichever pack Vampires came in though, we kind of got those fancy coffins. So I like that they gave us a really rustic kind of almost like Nosferatu style coffin. And then I'm just giving them a nice little rug, because if you have coffin woohoo, you know, if the day goes well and they have coffin woohoo, I want them, when they fall out of the coffin at the end, I want them to kind of have something soft to land on, not that cold stone floor. So here we are. I start to do this main room. It's like the entrance room to the restaurant, where I kind of wanted it to look spooky, but not like too Halloweeny, if you know what I mean. So I rejected that first paper with the cobwebs, and then I go for this kind of more muted, sort of almost like Victorian style wallpaper. But if you look closely, it has bats on it there. I like the black better than the red. I thought the red was a bit too much with the red slatting on the outside. And then I kind of look for a floor, and I'm having a bit of a whinge because I don't always like all the wooden floor textures. I think some of them look a bit alpha. And then I go to the spooky stuff floor as an example. I'm like, oh, like this one, it looks too alpha, but then that's the one that I actually like and use. So here we go. I think I'm going to grab it now. And then I'm like, oh, I do actually like that one. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So there we are. That's the spooky stuff floor. And I appreciate the spooky stuff pack a bit more now. When we first got it, I kind of was like, well, what's the point? Why have you given me this? Like, I can't go trick-or-treating. We don't have that content. Like, why would my Sims dress up if we haven't got seasons and I can't go trick-or-treating? Or why, like, would you give me this if I haven't even got any supernatural creatures? Like, I can dress up as a fairy, but I can't be a fairy. Like, what is the point? So I'm happier now with that pack, now that we've got supernaturals, you know, Realm of Magic, vampires, and seasons for, like, trick-or-treat and those kind of holidays. I find like I get a lot more use out of the pack now. So yeah, I've kind of, it was my least favourite pack for quite a while, but now it's winning a place in my heart. And now I'm looking at these tiles, these kind of Victorian tiles. I'd really like more decorative tiles, sort of like that kind of Victorian entrance hall kind of tile. Now I find that one that I was just placing a little bit too big. I really like this wallpaper, but I don't think I end up using it in the end. But I appreciate it and I like it. So yeah, I think we need more tile options in the game. Like, I really like that one, but it's just a bit big and it's a bit too ornate almost. I sort of want, so the tiles that are on that wallpaper that I'm placing there, I almost want that kind of tile but for the floor. And I was a bit salty actually, because like those Salvadorada tiles are really nice, but why don't we have matching floor tiles, huh? Game Pack team, explain yourselves. But I think Peacemaker, he's a custom content creator. I think he has some matching floor tiles to wall tiles. I do remember downloading some of those. Just a second, I think my son's coming upstairs. Just filming, don't come in. Okay. Yeah, he's just going to the bathroom. He's like, I know. I don't want to talk to you anyway, mother. So here we go. So I'm getting a host station. I go for that kind of more traditional looking one. I really, really am happy with how this room turned out, actually. So yeah, there's the little host station. And then I think I go for a rug. Yeah. A little rug to wipe your feet on. Get rid of all the snow and the blood before you go into the restaurant. Which one do I go for? There we go. I think I changed my mind, actually. Do I go for a different rug? I think I'm complaining that I find it hard sometimes to find the rug that I want, because I kind of know, like, I can picture the rug that I want in my mind, but because they kind of have so many swatches, you have to kind of go through each swatch to find the one that you want. And then I'm just saying that I really like that rug there. It's like an IKEA style rug, and I just like it. But there we go. Eventually I find the rug that I had in mind, but you can see that, like, it was hidden behind a different swatch, so I don't know really what they could do with that apart from separate all the rugs out, but then they'd like overwhelm the catalogue, so I don't know what the right answer is there. But yeah, I kind of like that. I like vintage style rugs. It's one of those things, like, the developers cannot give me enough like vintage sort of oriental or Victorian style rugs, like, and any kind of like IKEA style rug as well. I literally cannot get enough of them. So I think about putting a table here in this area, but then I worry about whether or not the Sims are going to be able to root around it. And then I start going on about this table here from Spooky Stuff. That's what I liked about the pack, actually, when we originally got it. I liked that we had these kind of like quite worn sort of non-perfect things. Like, I think when the game first launched, we got a lot of stuff that was very, very like aspirational, and you know, we don't always want to play with aspirational content. Sometimes we want to do that kind of rags to riches style gameplay, or have things that are a bit worn looking, or, you know, we want to tell a lot of different stories with our Sims. We don't want every single Sim to be like super successful, living the perfect life, right? So I was happy at the time when we got Spooky Stuff that we were getting this kind of really worn looking content. Yeah, so I think I give up on that table in a second, and I go to turning this area into a little like waiting area instead, you know, like waiting to be seated at your table, so you can go over here and have a little chat, have a few drinks, have a few laughs. Yeah, so, and then I'm just sort of working out whether I want the one with the face or not. And what I go for in the end is I go for 2 without the face and then 1 with the face. There we go, I change it back to having the face. So it's just like, that's the ghost chair. It's kind of subtle, like you might not notice it at first, but then, ooh, that one's actually got a ghost in it. And then I go for, like, I'm just pointing here that I want a little table in the middle, and I hope that they can root round it. I haven't checked yet, so I may have to go back and change that when I finish the build and see if it works. So yeah, just looking for a table, and I go for that one from City Living. It's there we go. In the end, I really, really like that. I really like the Moroccan style, actually. We had kind of a Moroccan set for Sims 2, and then they kind of revived that and did a version of it for the Sims 3. And yeah, I really, really like that set, so I'd love to get more content like that. Is it Moroccan? Kind of Moroccan, possibly kind of Indian. I'm not quite sure, actually. Turkish. It's lovely anyway, wherever that style originated from. I really do like it. Would love to get more of that kind of content. And then I get one of these familiar orbs, because they kind of look a little bit like crystal balls to me, and I just thought that was nice for the centre of the table there. Because it's I don't want it to be specifically vampires in this build. It's in Forgotten Hollow, but it's kind of like a general supernatural build, so I wanted to give the witches a little witchy corner there. Then I'm complaining about the size of this light. It's such, like, I love the style of it, that kind of Art Nouveau style of it, but it's just too big. So if you size it down, you have kind of a problem with the placement of the lights. I love those lights as well from Romantic Garden stuff, and then I changed the colour of them, and I'm so happy with that little corner. I put a rug in there as well. But what I was going to say was, so if anyone from the development team are kind of watching this, I sort of comment on that really oversized lamp from Realm of Magic. It makes it unusable. So if possible, if it's like within the budget in the future, if they are going to give us an oversized lamp, I would hope that they would also do a smaller version. like a size down version that we could use in sort of standard size builds, because I love that light, but I never use it. It's just too big, far too big for the space. So I added a little rug there from Eco Lifestyle, and I'm so happy with that little corner. I just think it's really, really nice. The only thing missing is like if we had cushions that we could place on the seats, that'd make it perfect. That'd be a nice little update, actually. Once they do deal with kind of the more serious things that we need, if they wanted to do like a nice little tweak, it'd be good if they put like if they made a new slotting behaviour, like a new slot that you could place objects in specifically for cushions, and if they added cushion slots to chairs and sofas, and then you could like slot a cushion onto it, like decorative cushions that you could change on the sofas, that'd be amazing. So yeah, I put that little umbrella stand near the door because my mindset was like, if your date goes badly and you're on a date with a vampire who's a little bit pushy, like trying to get a bit too close to your neck a bit too soon, you could get one of those umbrellas out, and it's kind of like a stake, right? It's like a wooden stake. You could kind of like poke them away, like, no way, buddy, keep your distance, back off, buddy, that kind of thing. That's what I was thinking. So then I'm using those spooky tables from Spooky Stuff around as the actual seating for the restaurant, for the dining area. I really do like those. They're the kind of look that I was going for, because we haven't got werewolves yet, but maybe if we did have werewolves as customers, they might kind of find themselves ripping at the tablecloth a little bit. And it's an inclusive restaurant. It's an inclusive restaurant for everybody. So I'm using those Realm of Magic chairs as well, which again, I love that Art Nouveau style. I get a bit worried about routing here, so I move that table over on the right. I think there I'm just talking about the routine, so I move it over like that, and I'm quite happy with that placement there now. I think here I'm talking about whether or not I want to add curtains. I do in the end, but right here is like where I'm going through and I'm trying to find ones that fit. Oh, I'm just pointing out the name of the name of that lot. It's Flee the Mouse Bend, Flee the Mouse Bend, or Fled the Mouse Bend, which I take it a bit personally, to be honest, Sims team. I have a very love-hate relationship with the Sims team. I can never quite work out if they like me or not. Yeah, I like it when they include any reference to a mouse in the game. I'm like, it's me. It's probably not. It's just me, my ego. Like, it's me. They love me. But normally it's negative. Normally it's like, oh, that horrible mouse. Oops. So here I'm adding the tables from the candles from Eco Lifestyle, the ones that you can craft and that actually burn down to the centre of the table. And I just kind of have a look through and make sure that I'm using the one that I want to use. I'm sort of confused there about the difference between those two. But what I want in the end is I want some kind of glass container. I want it to be in a jar. But so I spend a bit of time looking through, trying to find. I think I'm going to BB Show Hidden Objects, looking for some kind of bowl or vase. And at first, I think I should find it in a minute. I go for a food bowl, I think it's what you have ice cream in, or fruit salad and things like that. But then I got worried that the wait staff would come and clean up the bowls. So here we go. There we go. There's a glass bowl. It's not really quite what I had in mind. I was thinking something more like the fish bowl shape would be better, but obviously that's got fish in it, and water in it, which isn't ideal. So I carry on looking anyway. I think that's probably not my best choice. And eventually I find it's some kind of jam jar. I think it's from Eco Lifestyle, but it's perfect. Where is it? Keep looking, Cinderella. Just air silence. I'm looking through the catalogue along with her. So this does take me a while. I was just looking at the glasses there. I like those. I was thinking about using those at some point. Come on, where is it? God, I was looking for a long time, wasn't I? So I had the idea of using that jar, but no, not quite right. Here we go. Here it is. So I get rid of that bowl, and I size up the jam jar. I size it up once. Come on, do it. There we go. And then it's kind of perfect, right? Perfect for putting that candle inside. So then with BB Move Objects on, I fiddle around with this for a while to kind of get the placement right. and to make it look like the candles inside the jar. And I thought I was like the cleverest simmer in the world for doing this. I was so proud of myself. But it takes me a while to get that placement right. I fiddle around with it quite a bit. Yeah, there we go. That's it. It actually slotted into place, I realised in the end. So get rid of that bowl Cinderella from the past. And there we go. So I size it up, place it on the table so it's the right height, move it over into position, and then move the table back. And it does take me a couple of goes. But yeah, super like feeling pleased with myself about that. The video is getting quite long, so I decided that I'm only really going to furnish this floor level. So this room in the kitchen, I just really like those bottles as well. Really love the juice making and the bottles from Eco Lifestyle. And I can't wait to kind of like build a convenience store at some point. I still haven't done it, but it's like something I really want to do. I know other simmers have done it. So that's something I'm definitely going to look into. A bit salty that it's not nectar making, because nectar making was one of my favourite ever skills from The Sims 3. I loved it so much, but I still do appreciate juice making, juice fizzing. And then I find these little meat cubes from Eco Lifestyle. They're from the meat wall, and I think, I'm going to just place these little blocks of meat around as appetizers for the guests. We've got vampires coming and they might get hungry, so it's just something for them to suck on while they're waiting. And then I add spice to the tables as well. It's like salt and pepper, right? I think it's curry powder, so they can like pick up these meat cubes, put a bit of curry powder on, give them a bit of a suck while they're waiting for the food to come. It's so gross, but it's so good. Love it. I really like these kind of worn looking rugs as well. Like I say, this style of rug, I just cannot get enough of them in the game. I really love them. So I fiddle about with those rugs for a bit, and then I think I might, this may be around the point where I decide to do some finishing touches off camera. Yeah. I swapped those two rugs around actually. There we go. I put that one downstairs, and then I bring this one upstairs because it has that kind of like bluey colour on it, which I think looks quite nice with the chairs. And then I think I changed the colour of that rug at the front as well. So I'm just covering. I realise sometimes I hold my hand over my mouth while I'm talking, which obviously isn't the best because it makes me sound a bit muffled. So I am sorry if I do that. So there we go. I've kind of completed the build. I've added some lights, I've added some curtains, I've added these scratches around the back door, like, somebody tried to escape, like some vampire's victim tried to escape, something went wrong. And then I kind of had those sconces around the room, made them purple. I get a bit sulky that I can't adjust the lighting colour of the candles from Eco Lifestyle. There it gets me whinging about that there, because I would have liked to have made those blue or red, I think. But they kind of like, they emit that white glow and it can't be changed, which I think ruins the lighting in the end. But I leave it because I really like the way that they look inside those jars. And then into the kitchen, so I've got the meat cubes. I've sized them up and added some more spices there, so little supply there of meat cubes for people to have a good suck on. And then I found these posters like how to cut the meat from a llama and a cow plant, which I thought was suitable. And I've got kind of like blood splatter all over the floor and the walls. It's like an abattoir. It's disgusting. And that sink as well, the industrial sink, it really does have abattoir vibes, which is definitely what I was going for a vampire restaurant. It's so gross. And like the lighting's red in there as well, so it just like spills out. I don't know when this video is going to end. It's probably going to end soon, and I'm going to carry on decorating the other floors in another video, but I'm really happy with like what I've done so far. Having like that little witchy corner so the witches can feel comfortable, having the bloody things for the vampires. Yeah, really happy with what I've got so far. I've not done the outside yet, I've not done the porchway, but yeah, so I think I'm probably going to leave it there. And I'm going to decorate the other two floors later. I'm going to put a bar upstairs, and it's going to be a vampires only bar, or people who can teleport only, right? You have to be able to teleport to be able to get up there. But yeah, that's it. So I will be with you, and we'll carry on furnishing this restaurant together in the next video. Do take care. Bye bye.